Hey, you know that feeling when you worked all year in a classroom during a COVID pandemic with maskless kids and maskless teachers and no vaccine until finally at the end, and so then summer arrives and you're like, my Jeep, I'm gonna get in that Jeep and go Jeeping. I'm gonna do things, gonna take pictures, and then you've got that like yes Jeep feeling, and you walk out to your Jeep and you open the tailgate and you find this. So the first thing I did was pull out this and find out how long does it take for wren eggs to nest, because I know it's a wren because she flew out in front of my face when I first opened the tailgate. So 10 to 15 days to hatch, and then time to fledging, which is when they leave the nest, 10 to 15 days. So that's June. That's June of my COVID summer, post-COVID summer. So that's not gonna work. So then what I did, of course, is call the birdiest person I know next to John James Audubon, and that's Julie Zickyfoos. So and it went something like this. Hey Julie, there's a nest in the back of my Jeep. Oh, she says, it's gonna be a Carolina Wren. I'm like, yes, how do you know? Because she's Julie, that's why. So anyhow, short story is, she told me how to make a move of the nest that will probably work, but nothing's guaranteed, but it's worth a try. So, because I can't leave the Jeep for a month. So that's what's gonna happen right now. So I had this wren box on the porch, and it hadn't been used for a couple of years, mainly because it hadn't been cleaned out. It was stuffed to the gills with layer upon layer of previous year's nesting materials, and paper wasp nests were in there. So I cleaned that out, and I'm going to repurpose this. I'm going to mount it on an old volleyball pole that has a cement tire on the bottom for ballast, you know, to hold it steady when we were playing volleyball. And I'm going to mount it to the top of that pole. The pole is slick metal. That'll prevent my buddies, the rat snakes, from climbing up and eating the eggs or the babies. Okay. So the first thing I have to do is modify this board so it will mount on the pipe that is the volleyball pipe, and I'll drill a hole so that I can put this bolt back through, attach this securely to the pole, and then I'll mount the birdhouse to this plank. I've done that with a chickadee house I built, and it worked great with the other missing half of this volleyball set. Age-old problem. Oop. Nope. So now I'm going to extract the existing nest, set it in the birdhouse, and then put the bottom back on and mount it. Actually, I should set the pole up first, right? All right, now I'm going to extract the nest. Okay, nest extraction live as it happens, foibles and all. Boy, this is tricky because they built it. It's like building a canoe inside your house, if you've ever read Rascal. Okay, that counts. 3 precious eggs. If you're not awed by a bird's nest built by an animal who's never seen it done before, then you're not awed by the power of instinct. I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I'm going to wedge it in there without breaking any eggs. Oh, maybe not. Okay, 3 eggs. Wedge it up in there. All right, I'm going to drape a little of the nesting material. There's some hanging out, it's probably enough, but I just want the birds to kind of notice. So there it is. The nest is moved. It may or may not work, but I know I tried, and I've got my Jeep back. And the good thing about a lot of songbirds, but Carolina Wrens especially, they'll do multiple sets of eggs throughout the season, and we have a long season in Florida, so there's no shortage of wrens, but you know, every egg is special. So there you go. The nest is moved. It's in the birdhouse. Now it's just up to a little bit of luck, which I personally don't believe in, but a little bit of serendipity, which I do believe in, and we'll see what happens. I will update you if I see the wrens using the nest box. And that's it for now. One of those sweet diversions on a day you thought was going to be yard work and maybe some Jeep driving, which I can do now. So, win-win, birds. Come on, do your thing.